Welcome everyone to the Friday Random Review. Who's ready for the weekend? Well, before that, we've got a toy to look at, and a big one this time. This was a request that came in from Tracy Hedgefox. Thank you very much. And it was for, well, any version of this mold. And considering I don't own King Atlas, and Skyquake would most likely disintegrate if I tried to review it, not that I actually own one, we're going with the Machine Wars Starscream version of this toy. And this is going to be quite awkward because this toy is properly huge and kind of difficult for me to keep on camera and demonstrate at the same time. So hopefully I don't screw up too much here. As you can see, he is a big, badass black jet. I really, really dig the design of this vehicle mode. It just, it looks like it could take out a third world nation on its own. It's that cool of a jet, and the jet black really does help that. I mean, let's be honest, like, Skyquake's color scheme did not do this toy any favors. But then again, this one kind of suffers a few problems itself. The only deco you have from it of any kind is some translucent blue, and I do like the windshield here. I do like that was fully done. Well done. But there's only a few stickers to break up the black, and it doesn't really break it up at all. Here we have on the side a red sticker that's apparently trying to put in the Konami code. And here in the front, we have the traditional, I'm going to go with shark on this one. It's not too shark-like, but shark is typically, it's either a shark or a tiger on the front of a jet, and this one's definitely not a tiger. We do have the Decepticon symbol there with a big, very bold outline on it. A little bit weird shape too. I just noticed that. A little funky. And we do, okay, so there's some stickering on the wings for striping. Nothing too exciting. Some on the tail fin as well. And little tiny sticker here. And really that's all you get just for breaking up all of that black. I mean, I gotta be honest, like, it's not that exciting of a deco. I mean, the vehicle looks cool in black, don't get me wrong, but there really isn't much flavor to it. The only real, like, shocking color from it is that bright green on the missiles. And that's actually a variant. You could get this either with missiles that are in that shade of gray, or these, and I prefer these for two reasons. A, it adds a hit of color to the toy, and B, this is almost impossible to lose if it falls on the floor. Which is actually a good thing, because a lot of these will fall on the floor, because he does not fire his missiles. Now, if we look on the underside, well, we see most of the robot mode, so spoiler alert, but we also see these cavities in the engines. Well, these are actually compartments that can rotate around by twisting the little knob and reveal missiles hidden away. This mold came with 16 of these things, so you knew they were prepared for you to lose a lot of them, because the gimmick of this toy is carpet bombing. Rotating that around will cause them to drop out onto unsuspecting Autobots. And it's a really cool gimmick that they don't do very often. I kind of enjoy that. The compartments, there's 4 spots for missiles, but of course you can't have a missile mounted there. It's just going to fall out. So the maximum each can hold to drop is 3. Well, I suppose you could do that too. So, okay, we'll give you 4. We'll give you 4. Still nowhere close to how many missiles he comes with, and it still leaves us with missiles to actually display on his vehicle mode. So there's a lot it does. That's cool. But here's the thing. This used to do so much more. This is originally a Euro G1 toy. Came out at a time when Europe was getting new Transformers and America wasn't. So there's a lot of little tricks to him that don't quite carry over. Okay, I'm going to show you this trick, which actually does kind of look neat. See, there's a lot of translucent blue underneath there, but it covers up. And this is probably the proper way I should have showed you the vehicle mode, but instead of like that, because I have no idea what this accomplishes, but it's kind of a neat function to see all 8 of those slots go up at the same time. Yeah. So the big deal here is that huge engine on the back. It's big and gray and comes with this big translucent thing in the front. So obviously this was something. This was a gimmick called a Mega Visor. This lets you view slides that came with the toy or slides that came with the Predator figures that mounted on top of this piece. That will let you actually view slides through the light in here by looking through the scope. Now, all of the slides were removed from the American versions of all of these molds that they carried over from Machine Wars, so those gimmicks are completely neutered, which is unfortunate because they're unique and they sound cool. And this one actually had an extra one on top of that. You can see here, with these tail fins, can actually be rotated up. Now, when I do that here, it does nothing but block the light. But what it's actually doing is moving this little platform, which you can't see because the light's never going to get into it from here. But it's moving this little plate into a 45-degree position inside. Now, originally, that had a mirror on it, which meant you could look through the scope, see the mirror, which would show you what was underneath the toy, and show you what you were carpet bombing with all of those missile drops. That is cool. And I would have played with this all day if it actually still did that. Oh my god, why didn't they just put a little sticky, like, reflective sticker mirror thingy? Anything to make that gimmick work. No, Machine Wars in itself is kind of a cheap line. You kind of get the feeling that it was kind of rushed over here just because they wanted to keep vehicles on the shelves somewhere to sate demand. And the rumor, the big story behind Machine Wars was that it was some, like, Hasbro slip of the tongue where someone actually said, yeah, we're going to still support vehicles. And then that person was, taken to a dark room somewhere in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, and beaten with a truncheon for several days. Legend. It's just legend. I can't confirm any of that. Neither can you. Shut up. But no, but that was the rumor, is that someone actually said, yeah, we're still going to do it, so they had to actually do it, which I don't think is how corporations work, but whatever. That's about all the vehicle mode does, so we'll get this thing into robot mode, which is pretty simple because this is still technically a G1 toy. It begins by folding up a lot of little things, and then we fold that down and clamp it in. This all folds out, and we'll go ahead and put the landing gear away. All of this rotating down and clunks into place. Landing gear goes up, landing gear goes up, flip up the head, and that's pretty much the long and short of it. Well, that would help. Here, let's actually let's remember he has feet, and he has heel spurs because his back is very heavy. Let's actually remember that before we stand him up like a dingus. There we go. Now that is a proper looking robot mode, and this is Machine Wars Starscream, and he actually looks quite cool. Like, I actually really dig him, and yeah, don't question me. Yes, I forgot the sliding part of his arm. Quiet. I'm reviewing here. I'm the video guy thing. Before I was so rudely interrupted by myself, let's take a look at the head, which I actually really dig this sculpt. There's a lot of little elements to it that kind of borrow from other toys I know. It is nowhere near a Starscream style head, but I kind of dig how it looks with the layered faceplate and the prowl style horns on the front. It's a neat looking toy, and unique for a Decepticon, blue eyes. Which is light piped, and actually a pretty decent light piping. It's a good color for that. But if you're not a fan of light piping, this actually flips up and blocks it out. So you can either have him looking mostly dead or kind of alive. I would prefer kind of alive. I don't know about you, but that's just my preference. There are more sticker details. We get another Decepticon logo, again weirdly shaped, and a few hits of red and yellow here and there. So there's a little bit more detail going on, a little bit more color, but it's still pretty drab, all things considered. This is Starscream, after all. I mean, he's very vibrant for a Decepticon, ironically in the same colors as Optimus Prime, and, well, this one's not. He's rather monochrome. Now, play-wise, all you get are the shoulders, which do move up and down, and that's pretty much the long and short of it. The original version of the toy did come with a missile launcher that would fire off all these tiny little missiles, but that got cut for U.S. safety laws. So he's pretty much just left at that. Now, I do really, really like the design of the robot, but he is one of those Transformers that tends to wear his vehicle on his back. So that can be problematic, and there's really nothing you can do with this. It sticks out the back no matter what you do, so I hope you have shelving that can accommodate for that. So I really can't say that. Like, I feel like I barely touched on the robot mode, but it is a G1 style robot, so there really wasn't a whole lot to mention. So that is Machine Wars Starscream. The Machine Wars line itself is kind of an oddity amongst Transformer series, and some were hits and some were misses. It was kind of a cheapo, rushed line, but every now and then it did something good. And I'd overall say Starscream is a good figure, but you really have to be into the G1 aesthetic and charm in order to actually understand what's going on here. Because, yeah, he just doesn't compare to the toys we get these days. And if you're going to pick any version of the mold, I'd still go with the Universe King Atlas. It just looks cooler. It does a lot more with the deco in both modes. So there is my official opinion on Machine Wars Starscream. Next time I've got an even big this thing's like I'm barely like able to reach out and touch his hand right now. So, and I've got bigger toys on request that I need to review. So I'm going to go figure out how to actually manage that